So since we've basically changed all the rules of production and carry optics division this year, I figure why not go all the way? So in this video, we're going to be comparing the effect of a skeletonized race holster versus a traditional full holster that is currently legal in the carry optics and production division rule set. Are you ready? Stand by. Welcome back to the Humble Marksman channel. I'm David, and I like to have these kind of conversations about USPSA rules and really just dorking out and getting into full neckbeard mode to talk about things. Those of you who follow my content know that I have been pretty progressive as far as what the rules in production and carry optics sort of should be. And if you're not familiar, IPSC, which is the parent organization of USPSA, does allow the use of locking skeletonized race holsters in basically all the divisions. So this is illegal in IPSC for carry optics and production, whereas USPSA would require something more like this. So the holsters that we're going to be using today to kind of check this out, I've got the Gugaribus GR Universal holster here, and I've got the Gugaribus Neo GR, which is the closed holster here. Both of these holsters can basically accommodate any gun that anybody is making, and that's kind of cool. So my methodology for testing this was going to be to take my Shadow 2, and for my YouTube sensor, you can see me shooting the Shadow 2 here, and you can see this image off the manufacturer's website to show you the gun is fully unmodified, and this is absolutely the most advertiser-friendly content that you have ever seen. And you, dear viewer, love it so much that you share it with your whole friends list. Go forth and share this content. So my methodology was going to be to test my draw at different distances just to see if it had an effect. And test my draw is sort of a moving thing to see if there was any effect when moving. I knew the answer to that was probably going to be not, but hey, in the name of completeness, we were going to do that. Then I was going to look at my 2020 Carry Optics Nationals match video, and I was going to tally up the types of draws that we had to see if there was any sort of change in the draw speed to how it would affect my hit factors and time at Nationals. And what I found is that as I got warmed up, that the draw time didn't matter. I was drawing faster with the closed holster than I was with the locking race holster, which if you go by convention, you would know that this is at least 2/10 faster because I heard it on like 4 different podcasts. Tried this several different times and I couldn't make the holster make a difference to me. Like the skeletonized holster wasn't any faster. So I didn't even bother looking at my 2020 Nationals footage to see how it would have impacted my finish there because I mean, the closed holster ended up being a little bit faster, so it would have honestly been worse had I put it in. And to provide a frame of reference with where I am as a shooter, I'm not the uppermost echelon who's in danger of coming in and even like top 10 in Nationals. I finished at like 77% of the winner last year. It was like 60th or something like that. So not the greatest finish, but the carry optics field was pretty deep and like a full percentage point spanned a lot of people. So everybody was kind of clustered up about where I finished. So all of that to say is like at the level that I compete at, which is kind of a low-level master, if you will, there wouldn't be a difference in the hit factors I'd be able to put up in the classifiers. I don't think it would necessarily destabilize the classification system by introducing race holsters. Like, you wouldn't be able to go out and just like, oh, I got a race holster, so now I'm all of a sudden shooting, you know, a full classification better than I used to. You're just getting more functionality from the race holster, honestly. It has a full locking mechanism so that the gun is more stable. And honestly, like GX products and all that who are introducing their locking mechanism, they're making a Kydex shell, which is what's required now to have a locking mechanism on it, which is basically a locking race holster. And through conversations with some of my shooting buddies, they'll say, well, this is just creating the perception of a bigger gear race. But if you get really honest with what these holsters are kind of going for, if you get a good hanger and a Kydex shell, it's going to range from about $110 to $130 if you go full whiz bang and get the retention mechanism. Whereas a race holster is going to range about $150 to $200. While that certainly is an optic that like this isn't practical gear, and these mag pouches from basically all the manufacturers will fit any magazine that anybody's making. So it'd be pretty awesome if you could just have one competition shooting belt and basically compete in all the divisions. And at this point, I don't know why we don't do that. I mean, it's not going to affect anything. The most disruptive change was introducing magnets in all the division and allowing you to move the pouches forward of your hip bone. So since we've already crossed that bridge, like, I mean, why not? Just let us have the race holsters at this point. So I'd be curious to know your thoughts on locking race holsters because the difference is so small. If they change the rules tomorrow and opened it up to locking race holsters, unless you just want the security of a locking mechanism, I wouldn't necessarily run out and upgrade because it's not going to make your draw any faster, but you could potentially get a universal style holster that could accommodate any gun in any division, which is kind of cool. Jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts. If they made these locking holsters legal in all the USPSA divisions, what would your thoughts be on that? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've made it this far, I've picked the review of the GR Universal for you to watch, and here's the review of the Neo GR. Appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.